But anyways, all right. You know what? My first go around, Drex. I got my cheeks taken by bullet, so I'm going to redo it. We're gonna
Ooh.
redo all this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 51 of the Migtown podcast, your only weekly source for the show with a vaccinated producer. Let us, we must praise our overlord, the great and dear Justin Trudeau. He will save us from all the evil Republicans. Oh God, I don't know what happened there.
Justin
As usual,
Trudeau.
yes, the turbo power bottom that we all wish we were.
Justin Trudeau. What a
He's got the
joke.
money, he's got the fame. Drex, how much fun would you have running a whole country without giving a damn, right? You don't give a damn. People are going to vote for you no matter what you do. You could
Yeah.
literally force people to switch to electric cars, and they'll just keep voting for you anyways. How much fun would you have running a country?
Yeah, I mean, I would actually, if I were Trudeau, I would try to self-sabotage.
I think he does that every day.
Like every day, I would try to just be like, look, let me see
Like
what
he,
stupid thing I can do and see if people still vote for me. And they just keep
oh,
doing
you
it.
mean
Like,
like shoving a banana down your pants, painting yourself in blackface, and sticking your tongue out like a monkey?
yeah, why not?
Or groping a woman and then telling the media that she must have experienced it differently.
Of course, because why not?
Oh, actually, he
Dude's
didn't
a
grope.
clown.
He just sexually harassed her. Or sole sourcing a multi-million-dollar government contract to a friend of his who started a charity that's literally the Canadian version of the UN, or the Clinton Foundation, for God's sakes.
Yeah, I mean, these people are deep state puppets, man.
Or, you know, the guy who fired Canada's first Indigenous justice minister because she refused to give a sweetheart deal to a Quebec construction company that got caught taking bribes from Libyan government officials.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean that self-implosion? Drex, if you were to try and self-sabotage your country, could you name me a way you'd do it better?
Yeah, no, right? Well, I mean, Trudeau's good at it. Is he the best at it?
At
I
least
don't
he
know. I
didn't
mean,
shit his pants in front of the Pope.
right? Yeah, I mean, the United States is terrible. Australia is terrible. The cucked UK.
I didn't
I
even
mean,
finish the
all these
intro.
Western countries.
As usual, I'm producer Tim. Joining me is the mayor of Migtown, Drex. How are you?
I'm doing better than most. Hello, everybody in the world. Yeah, this show is actually just more of a free form. There's a lot of random topics to get into. It's one of those kind of weird weeks where just things were happening, right? Just
Yeah.
things upon things.
We're talking about your amazing U.S. president and your Bunning and Stave vice president.
Ugh. I mean, you know what? This is what people
It's
wanted.
funny. So, one of the days while I was in Murderapolis, as you like to endearingly call it, I stopped in at this random bar, not too far from where you are. It was called Old Piper.
Hmm.
Pretty cool sports bar. It was on Sunday. I was watching the football games. I watched Tom Brady throw a bunch of interceptions in the first quarter. That was fun.
Yeah, I heard that they end up so they end up losing. But here's the thing: there's always a trap game at that level. It is what it is. Like people are overreacting. I'm like, dude, you're gonna have those kind of games in a season.
Yeah. Any, anyways, we're in the bar, and I guess someone's having like a family gathering there. They've got a bunch of tables pushed together. There's a whole bunch of them. One of the little kids says, well, we can't have more than 6 people at a table.
Oh
Drex,
Jesus!
the little kid said that. He's like, I don't know, he must have been like 9 or 10 years old.
Of course he is.
He fully indoctrinated.
Yep.
You know, the public schools are working perfectly. But his dad is just like, I'm gonna stop you right there. Actually, there are 4 tables pushed together. Do you know how many people we can have? Because there's 4 people at this table. There's 2 people at that table, 2 people at that table, and 4 people at that table.
Yeah. But you know what though?
It's
The schools have done a great job. We talked about that with the deep state episode.
yeah. And
They need to
then
be well, they need a
go.
round of applause every time you see that their plan is working, and their plan is working masterfully. And the kids are they're basically all indoctrinated. Shout out to Manic the Mechanic for telling us, and Bowser, who explained that basically 90%. What do you say? His niece said 90% of the school is basically all like we are this gender.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like oh well, there's no hope. So it
Well,
is what it is.
and it was funny. Base dad at the end of the so when they're all getting ready to leave, he starts a "Let's Go Brandon" chant in the bar
Oh wow.
that I happily join into.
Here's the thing though. Those are battles. Battles don't mean anything to me personally. Wars mean something, right? Like when someone asks who won the war, they don't say who won the battle. Like battles are like footnotes, right? When someone says, "Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
there's this battle, this happened, that happened, this guy
But the
won or that
battles
guy
do
won."
matter.
Well, here's the
You're
thing.
right.
They
No one
matter.
remembers what happened in the battle, but they do matter.
Yeah, they matter, but like the most important thing is always winning the war, right?
Well, you'll never
And
win the war unless you win at least one battle.
yeah. But I mean, and at
And I
this
think
point,
his dad was doing the right thing, right? He's like, I'm gonna stop you right there, right? Put a hard stop on this indoctrination.
mhm.
Because I guarantee you, Drex, what other situation would that come up in a normal conversation, right? Look at the average American family. How many of them have 4 kids? That you can't have more than 6 people at a table,
Mhm.
right? Two parents, 4 kids,
Yep.
right? How many people have more than that?
Or I mean, just someone's with them, right? Their cousins with
Yeah,
them. Or how about if you have a
but even if
team?
it's 1 or 2 people over, again, like that's not something that comes up normal, right?
Yep.
So this kid, okay, it's the very first time in probably a year they've been out to go and meet someone, right? And they drop that nugget, and the dad's like, "Hold up, I'm gonna stop you right there,"
Of
right?
course, it was dad.
Because
You know,
that's how you fix it. And of course, Drex, this was a
of
family
course, it's
whose
dad.
dad was in the picture.
Yeah, of course, it's dad. It's always going to be dad. I mean, but dads don't matter anymore.
No,
According to
no,
certain
God,
certain groups.
i- if the wrong person overheard that conversation, they would have called CPS on him.
Yeah. Oh, he's endangering lives, and from what
Yeah,
someone sent me, I guess I can't remember where that was. Was that Illinois or Massachusetts somewhere where there was a custody dispute and it came down to who got jabbed or something. It was some,
yeah.
just out of control, and that's
Well,
where
it's
we're
funny
at. But
because everywhere I went around. Okay, so I've spent most of the time in the burbs south of Minneapolis. Because why would you go into city proper, especially nowadays?
yeah, it's terrible.
Um, but everywhere I went, no mask, right? You and I went out. I actually pointed out the sign to you, right? If you're not vaccinated, we recommend a mask, but we're not going to tell you to wear one. That's the way it should
Uh,
be. I get
They
across the
can,
border here to Alberta. Immediately, first place I stop to get gas. Oh, you have to wear a mask. Put a mask on.
Jesus,
Oh,
nothing's gonna change. Canada's done. Anyone out there who still has hope for Canada, now you guys are done. America's
I.
not far behind, not far.
It's almost it's a great way to identify the people that we need to kick out when we make Alberta its own country.
Yeah, but
Like,
what percentage chance do you guys actually give that? Because I just don't see it happening.
I think it's 50-50. Oh, it's 50-50 at this point.
Mm. I mean,
Like,
Texas has
literally,
tried to
it's up to
secede
a
from the
coin
union for
toss.
years.
Honestly, well, the problem with Texas succeeding is the the states, their economies are so interconnected, but their cultures don't quite follow the same way. Like someone from Louisiana will be insulted if you like, oh, you sound Texan,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Or Alabama. I'm sorry, I'm getting my states mixed up. I don't know which one is just to the east of which state is just to the east of Texas. Is it Alabama?
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
right? If you say
Equally
someone from
terrible.
Arkansas is from Texas, they'll get offended, right? They're like, oh no. But you take a state out of there, and the state's own economy collapses because it requires shipping stuff out,
Hmm.
right? You have a commerce-based economy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Yeah. You got to
very
deal with
few states actually
currency.
have the natural resources to run their own first economy, right?
Well,
You
not
would
only that, what
require
happens
import,
when
manufacture, refinement, or services. You have a
one of the
commerce
big
economy.
issues, of course, is when there's a natural disaster, and that has already happened, where
Yeah.
Texas has a natural disaster, and then they need the federal government to come
Yeah.
in and help with recovery efforts. So therein lies a major problem. I mean, there's so many things are interconnected. Unfortunately, no one wants to address the source of the solution. It is what it is.
Alberta's got the uniqueness in that we have both the natural resources and the capacity to develop and refine them, right? We have the oil, we also have the refineries.
Yep.
We have trees. We also have sawmills, manufacturing plants, whatnot. We have plenty of coal, ores, iron, right?
Hmm.
We have all the stuff you need to run a modern economy without import.
Hmm.
But yet we still import stuff by the gigaton. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. It could be lack
Cheap
of.
Chinese manufactured steel. The reason is because Canada is a unionized country when it comes to most of our heavy industry.
Mhm.
So labor is your most expensive thing. Unions
Yep.
drive that cost through the roof.
Mhm.
It is unsustainable to manufacture steel here when the Chinese can manufacture for a fraction of the cost and get it here.
Yep.
Just ship it over on a giant boat. If you need it
Well,
even quicker, they can ship it on one of those big Antonov cargo planes.
you always need balance. Balance is always going to be the key.
No, you just need someone with the balls to stand up and say, you know what, fuck China. That we're not going to buy products from a place that doesn't, that locks people up in concentration camps and has LeBron James shilling for them.
Yeah, but you also need to make sure that your unions don't try to hose. Like private companies are always going to do what private companies do,
Oh no,
which
unions.
is seek. They're going to always seek the maximum profit, right?
Oh yeah, unions are a thing of the bygone past. They're not functional anymore. They only exist to drive up labor costs and make it impossible to fire unproductive workers.
Pretty much.
So there will be right to work legislation. There already is in the province of Alberta. There will be in the Federation of Alberta too, or the Republic of Alberta, or
Hmm.
Republic of Buffalo, as we're trying to call it. Um, so there will be right to work legislation. We'll be putting hard caps on the political activities of unions because, after all, you are a labor union. What the fuck are you doing advertising as a super PAC every election? Um, you know,
We'll see how that
we
works out.
we can, we can clamp down on them. Oh, what are you gonna do? Cry to the Constitutional Court, bitch? I wrote the Constitution.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
We're
but
gonna entrench the Second Amendment into our. We're gonna do constitutional carry in clear, plain language. Uh, Entrenched into the Republic of Buffalo's Constitution. But enough of my pie in the sky fantasies. Um, I'm telling you though, the U.S. isn't far behind Canada.
no.
As cucked as we are, you are catching up every single day that Biden is in office. It was maybe 4 years behind. It was 6 years behind when Trump was in power. Now
Yep.
you're down to like, oh, you're a week behind us.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's certain things you get 5 years.
He tried to do it with the OSHA mandate, right?
Yeah, and then they shut that down. It'll only be a matter of
This
time.
time,
Yeah,
this
this
time
time.
because they found the right judge.
Yep. But okay, all you gotta do is appeal, right? You know how appeals work. Appeal, appeal,
Yeah, take it
appeal.
to the Supreme Court. You know
Once it
they're
gets to
not
the
going to
Supreme
stand up for
Court,
anything.
you already know what's gonna happen. They're gonna just do well, kick it, or we'll cuck out like we always do. Once they
Yeah.
cuck out, you're gonna go, oh, there it is.
It was like in Cuckold Simulator. Press B to save lives to put your mask on. We got to cross promote that too. Everyone listening to this, I'm back from my trip to go out, go film on location. We filmed a hilarious playthrough of Cuckold Simulator. We brought in Team Sneed to do the Sneeder's cut of of that game. Honestly, the greatest idea we've ever had on this show. uh, getting the actual developer in. He's pointing out all these Easter eggs to Drex. We're asking him questions. He's got trivia. You can almost do a Wikipedia entry of Cuckold Simulator based on the quotes he said in the interview. So, Drex, that was a lot of fun playing that game, right?
Yeah, well, I actually have it in my notes here anyway. I was making sure that it was the right spot. I
And
mean,
we get, we get 5 minutes into the game, and you say, Sneed, I understand why you said this hits too close to home for people. Right? We're five
no,
minutes in.
there's a lot of things in that game that, like I told Sneed, I've actually seen with my own eyes, and some of the phrases. Some people think that some of the phrases in the game are funny because they're funny, but to me, they're funny because I've actually heard people say it. You know,
Yeah. I
uh,
was
and
excited when my wife suggested we open up our relationship.
yeah, I've actually heard that being said. So it's like it's disturbing to see because I mean, they always say truth is stranger than fiction. So to see something, it's bad enough when you've actually seen it, you've lived through it, and then like when you see it in polygonal form, and all of a sudden you got here you are in an actual simulator, right? A simulated game experience. That is something, man. There's so much. Like I said, there was a lot to get to. Just like I said, a lot of random stuff for today. Um,
Maybe we'll convince Sneed to rename the nightclub Thad's.
yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember you
But he'll
suggested
spell it with
that.
a Z, right? Or a Z as you called him,
Yeah,
right? You gotta
it's.
change it a little bit, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Just in case to all the legal work. That's why we got Nick on tap. The
Oh, speaking of Nick, God,
Yeah,
have you
I
seen
have
his
a
numbers?
little. Yeah, I have a little shout out for Nick in my little notes here. And the first thing is to speak about the implications of the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, right? And with that going on, obviously we're into deliberations, blah 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 blah, and it kind of goes back to some of the conversations I've had. I said I want you guys to think about a worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario, he gets convicted, whether it be a major charge or lesser charges, blah blah blah, right? It doesn't matter. Let's just say he gets convicted. And I still say that could spell even more trouble going forward, right? Because I think that what you're going to start to see is that you're going to see have more and more men pull out of their protective role, right? So currently in the general society, men have pulled out of their provisions role, right? So men are basically provision and protection. So the provision
Yep.
role, they have had demonized or beat out of them, or they've been subsidized, things like that, cucked by the government for women to get resources from the collective uh, value of men rather than individual man. So when someone says, "Okay, well, collectively, the police," you start to look at the police state versus the welfare state. After the 19th Amendment, women are going to go ahead and vote for provision. That's the welfare state. Protection is the police state. But with the Kyle Rittenhouse thing, you started noticing a huge shift. What you saw is when as these cities start to burn, as things start to get worse and worse, people said, "Oh, hey, we need the police." But see, wokeness means, "Well, I don't want the police." So then what you say is, "Oh, I need private security," right? So in this case, that kind of represents what a guy like Kyle Rittenhouse is, right? Private, a citizen coming to help, right? What happens when, with like I said, just for the sake of argument, this kid gets some crazy sentence, right? 100 years, whatever, 20, 30 years, right? Just time, just a significant portion of time. What's going to happen is people are going to look at that and it's going to set a precedent. And the precedent is going to be much like what happened with James Fairbanks and other people, the dad who went after the guy who sold his daughter into the sex trade. What you're going to end up with is the guys provoking their protection. And they're going to say, "Oh, okay, so this is how the game is going to be played. This is how it's rigged." Well, I'm going to go ahead and just check that out too, right? The resources are off the table. That's why the marriage rate collapsed, birth rates collapsed.
Yep.
Housing market is about to be done. That's coming. That's going to be a huge reckoning coming
Oh,
forward.
yes.
It's coming.
Hey, and a very cold winter for
It's
those
gonna be
OnlyFans
real cold.
thoughts.
Like it's gonna get so ugly with that. And like I said, I have that in my notes here about what to expect in the future. But being that they we're at this point, this part is biblical, right? When they say that the hearts of men are going to become as cold as stone, and like I said last week when I was talking to Becca the Ass Wrecker about, the whole situation on that Philadelphia train, why I
Is
wouldn't
she
get
still out
involved.
there wrecking asses?
I need to ask her. She actually sent me a message earlier. The big thing is this, though.
We gotta get her on Ghetto Gaggers.
Yeah, I'll, I'll send it by her. I'll float it by her. The the thing that's crazy is there's a parallel here, right? And the parallel is really simple. When women get on guys like like myself, and they say things like, "Well, Drex, how could you say that? How could you just let a woman be harmed like this? And you should step up and do X, Y, and Z." But then you ask these same people, "Hey, what do you think about the cops who are quitting the force in mass?" Right? In mass, cops are literally all across the country. They're just quitting, right? And when you ask about that, they're kind of like, "Yeah, the cops should quit, right? They're being treated like garbage. There's all these
Yeah,
reasons,
why
like
why
so."
would you work for why would you work for an organization that has no respect for you? Where
None. No
the
respect, no
the
value,
mayor
doesn't
and the
value.
police chief and the sheriff gets up there and says, we need to support this Antifa bullshit, Black Lives Matter, blah blah blah.
Yep. And when that
And
happens
you're
and
like,
you
you're like, what the fuck, man? Like this guy was charging at me. I had to shoot. No, no, we have to wait till all the facts come out. And
yep, you can't do that. You
please
can't protect
stand up for
yourself.
me for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, when you get to this point though, people are just gonna, like I said, they're just gonna basically say, you know what? Okay, cool. I'm just gonna go ahead and leave, and then I'm just gonna leave this. And, whatever happens, happens.
I'm just gonna
Right?
leave this mess. I'm gonna
I'm
leave
just gonna
this
leave
mess
it.
for you to.
I'm gonna leave it for you, and you're gonna end up in like in San
Oh,
Francisco,
oh,
where
Drex, help, help, police, help.
nope, let them die. I don't care. It means nothing to me. When I hear stories, I heard that story in Philadelphia. I felt nothing. Oh well, but that's someone's daughter. Yeah, well, someone's son's getting hosed in the family court. No one cares, so I don't care.
Yeah. Well, and we
And
talked about low tax, right? Not
yeah,
just getting
oh
hosed in
man,
a family court, loses, and then, you know,
yeah, he decides to
flips on the
Minecraft
group.
himself. Yeah, you told me because I had never heard of this guy before, and I look at that, and it kind of goes to show you how devastating it is, right? And the only real options that a lot of men have is get cucked, especially if it's something like I said, a huge divorce like that where you're really losing. You can get cucked, you can put on the hockey mask, or you can take your own life, and or I guess for that last one.
Yeah.
The issue there though is that like there's so many things that have changed in our culture in a very short amount of time. And I was looking at the coverage of this trial and the media manipulation, and the flip side of this, it's given us something, right? You look at the media manipulation and you ask yourself, what has it given us? It's given us a rise in independent creators and reaction videos and analysis breakdowns and all that. And that has, allowed certain channels to blow up. And that's why, I give a shout out to my main man, Nick
I
Recato,
can't believe
Recato
it.
Law.
I can't like he was at 158,000 subscribers. Today he crossed 300,000.
Yeah. 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 I
Um,
couldn't be happier for him.
and imagine the next time you go out to Nick's and he flips that camera on, there's gonna be something like 4, 5, 6,000 people in that chat
Mhm.
seeing you for the very first time.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Make sure
There's
you know how
always
to
new
shill your
faces.
make sure you know how to shill your stuff, man. Because people are
Yeah.
gonna like they're looking at Nick and they're like, holy shit, this guy has said something I've never heard before. And
Hmm.
he's right. Remember, I explained this last week, right? Nick is telling you what your eyes see.
Hmm.
And he's telling you to trust your eyes. Okay, you look at that video and you see there's no way this guy has anything other than a self-defense claim, and your eyes see that. But CNN, PBS and ABC News and MSNBC are all telling you, no, 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 don't trust what your eyes see. He actually raised the gun first in his grainy, picture, 4 pixels high.
Well,
Oh
that's
god,
straight
it
out
made
of
me want to
1984, man.
I wanted to stab
Joker.
someone's eye out in Minecraft, listening to them argue about resolution, compression. Oh, the email must have compressed the video. Oh yeah, why is the timestamp different?
Yeah. Well, I
Uh,
mean, just this past Saturday, shout out to Joker, Better Bachelor. He had posted a little thumbnail up there, and it said, "This is straight from George Orwell's 1984." It says, "The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. Once you get to a point where you can see something with your own eyes and you can hear something and you know what it is, and you still are sitting there going, "Huh? No, no, I'm just listening to what I was being told," and you don't even believe
Get on
that,
a
then
roll.
yeah, it's too late. It's too late. It's
Get
already,
get on a
and we're
roll.
already there. I mean, that's why when you have maps, the fact that someone can even use a term like maps and people are saying, trying to justify that, like I said, it's
Yeah.
already too late. But like I said, we're gonna have fun, enjoying the
No,
collapse.
next time you go out to Nick's, keep an eye on. Well, first of all, he had to turn on slow mode for his chat because you get you get tens of thousands of people in there at the same time, and the text is just flying across the screen. You can't
Hmm.
read it. But yeah, you're gonna have thousands and thousands of people who meet you for the very first time, and I'm
Yep.
excited to see what the reaction's gonna be. So, Drex, when you give someone the red pill, they do one of two things: they reject it or they embrace it.
Most
Right?
reject because I mean most people
Most.
want to live in a lie, and
Oh,
that's okay.
I was
It's okay to
watching
want
the
to live in a
live
lie.
chat, Joe's live chat. There were some people in there who were just hard rejecting that red pill.
Oh yeah.
Joe's dad was in there.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know. You didn't see that, but Joe's dad was in there saying how him and Joe's mom were married for 50 years.
Hmm.
She passed away 7 years ago, and he remarried. And he's saying, Drex, what you saying is bullshit, Drex. It worked for me.
Yeah. I'm.
Well, first of all, you
Well.
got married 50 years ago. I think it was a little different back then.
Yeah. Like, look.
We did
The
nostalgia week, right?
Yeah, and it's no knock to Joe's dad or even Joe. And I told Joe right there on the show. I said, "Look, Joe, you're coming from this small community, Orthodox Jew community. Yes, your views are going to be skewered toward that. So you're going to say, well, I don't see this as much as is what you're saying. Or I don't think it's like that. It's like, yeah, but go out in general society and you'll see something different. But
Yeah.
the
If
at the
Joe's
end of the
dad
day,
looks if Joe's dad looks at OnlyFans right now and then says, "Oh yeah, I could see someone wifing that up." Yeah, you got to
ugh,
the problem's you, buddy.
I hope that's
Um
not the case. Yeah,
I
like
hope
like,
I hope he doesn't think that way.
but
There
but
are
but
there
when
were
guys are
oh,
a
and of
certain
course there were some
age,
women in his chat that were bitching at you too.
oh, were they? Oh, that's
Oh
cute.
yeah. They were making fun of your low camera angle.
Oh, were they? Oh, yeah, yeah. Everyone's gonna
You
roast
know,
me for that.
yeah.
Problem
No,
solved,
there were
though.
there were some people who were just like fully rejecting what you had to say.
Oh,
Not
yeah. I
many.
mean,
Like
even
Joe
though
doesn't have that many people in the chat.
the beauty of being on the show with Joe is that like Joe was acknowledging in certain ways where he said like in his community they're always looking to minimize phone conversations and things like that, right? And
Yeah.
internet access, really, right? So when you're saying that, you're like, okay, so what is it on the internet that you don't want them to be exposed to? See, thottery, right? Degeneracy, and I'm glad guys like
Koopa.
Nick are
Don't
showing,
let him
yeah,
near
Koopa.
Koopa.
I'm glad guys like Nick are really shining a light on this manipulation that's been going on for decades now, and that's why I give a special congratulations to Nick and his continued success on the show.
Yeah. He's
Like I
super.
said,
I couldn't be happier for the guy. I couldn't be happier that he's finally getting his due, right?
yeah,
Because
the
here's the thing. He covered the Maddox lawsuit, right? He called that one correctly, right? He tore it apart. He covers the Vic Mignogna stuff, but he loses that one, right? He's like, "Oh, this will make it past TCPA." Chup throws it out. All right, so now everyone's squawking at him on Twitter. 17-0, Drex. Um, and finally, Nick's getting his due as a lawyer who calls he calls things as they see him, as he sees them, right? Because normally he gets on there and he lays into someone like Russell Greer or what's her name? Holy shit, why am I forgetting the Mountain Jew woman there, the crazy
Melinda
woman,
Scott.
Melinda Scott? Yes,
Yeah,
right. Of course, you tear that lawsuit apart because they're funny.
well,
But
why not?
now someone's actually saying, "Oh, okay, here's a legal analysis, my legal opinion." And there's actually people who were saying, that panel that he gets backing him up on this stuff, and people are saying, "Oh, he actually is a lawyer after all."
Yeah,
And
well, I
then
mean, we'll see
when
what
they
happens.
dismissed, the judge, Judge Schrader dismissed the gun illegally carrying a gun charge. And of course, Nick had to go gloat on Law Twitter about that,
Of course
because
he
Law
is.
Twitter was all,
Well,
um,
Nick has his haters, and I even have his in my notes here. I have it says haters, and when I as quickly as I congratulate Nick, I condemn the haters who have gone after him. And let's face it, the whole quote unquote law Twitter, these are basically the losers who didn't see ahead of the curve and make YouTube money the way Nick made YouTube money by saying, "Hey, I can make there's more than a million ways to make $1 million, and I can go on YouTube and talk about X, Y, and Z as a lawyer
you
in,
might
in a
actually get
small
there.
town and do better
Dick
than the guy who has to go into an office every day."
Dick
So,
Masterson made $1 million on Patreon because of the Dick Show.
mm,
I think Nick will get there. I
yeah,
think he can top $1 million, super chats and ad revenue put
yeah,
together. I
yeah.
think he'll get
I
there in a
want him
couple
to.
years.
I definitely want
And
him
wouldn't it be
to.
so funny, Drex? The reason why Nick can hold this over Law Twitter is because, they hate him because they're not him,
Yep.
right? Right, Mars Girl and Emmett, that Emmett guy, that Emmett loser.
Mm,
It's one of the anti-Vic guys that goes after him all the time.
never heard of him.
Um, PPP, right? These are Nick is someone who can now draw a audience that absolutely dwarfs anything they do, right?
Hmm.
When Arms Girl goes to a convention, 3 people line up to get her autograph.
Hmm.
Right? That's why they want to take Vic down so badly. Because when Vic goes to a convention, the lineup's all the way around the block. You were
Yep.
there, you saw it,
Yeah.
right? Vic can fill a room. Monica Rial cannot.
Yeah. It's all of it is based on jealousy. Like, when I look at
Nick,
my notes and it says haters, that's who these people are. And
yeah,
the one thing is though, is that when I look at the situation with Nick and Nick's haters, which are basically just confused admiration. That's what a hater is. There's a great importance to what guys like Nick are doing. And it's boosting up others, right? He boosted me, he boosted Joe, sure he's boosted other people, just like he was
yeah.
boosted, right? He got his start,
Uh,
like you said, on the Dick show. Like there's this constant cycle, right? And eventually, the plan is for me to be big enough where one day I like launch somebody, just like with the war bands. So shout out to all those guys. Like it's cyclical, right? Like you put in a certain energy and it comes right back to you. And you want to be in a position where you say, "Hey, I'm helping put other people on." And one of the things is though is that we
and
all have our individual differences, right? Our gripes. Like I can have a
yeah,
gripe with Tucker Carlson and even roast him for the comments he made about marriage.
the Chameleon
That being
Crusades.
said, yeah. That being said,
Shout out to Chameleon Crusade Part 2, which we published today.
oh yeah, check that out. By the time you guys hear this, if you haven't checked it out already, the main thing is though is that when I look at someone like Tucker, Tucker has lots of great points. My thing is that we have to get to a point where just because someone roasts you on one point doesn't mean they're roasting you for everything, like as a person or as a father, whatever. So it's like this is me roasting Tucker on this point, and this other person,
Yeah.
because someone can say the same thing about me, right? Like some go, well, this is why I'm against Drex. It's because he said this thing, and this is where he stands. It's no different than what I said about my stance on the subway train incident. And Nick had the same view. He's like, I'm not putting my life on the line for anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
That
you
especially
and
that I
Nick
don't know.
disagree on things.
Yeah, Nick and I disagree on certain things. It's like it doesn't change anything, and we
Yeah.
need to build more instead of all I see. And people always ask, Drex, are you on Twitter? No, I don't do Twitter. Like, I don't like
No.
cesspools of negativity. Like, I'd rather be around people who actually want to do something and build something. If all you're going to do is sit here and say, you know what, I'm here to tear people down. I'm here to, cancel somebody. Not for me. And I look at where we're at right here, Migtown podcast. You guys know, man, you've always had a voice, whether it be in our live chats and even doing shows. Even in the early days, it was putting you guys on. We're doing a degeneracy chat. We're doing nostalgia week. We're doing things where like you guys have a voice. Anybody wants to hop on and we'll talk about this. We'll put you on a show. We'll give it some perspective because one of the things is as our man LOM says, he says that this red pill's on autopilot, and that's the point that we're at now. It's literally on autopilot. You start to look around and just kind of see what's happening in the greater culture, and what you're witnessing is it's a balancing act, right? There's been so long of just one narrative, one this, one that, And now you're starting to see the Nick Recadas of the world. So someone says, "Well, Drex, why are you giving so much love to Nick? I mean, I know that's your guy and everything." I said, "Well, let me explain. I'm looking at Nick's viewing numbers. He's doing better viewing numbers than the major networks.
Yep. And we
So what
couldn't
is
be
that
happier
telling
for
you?"
him. We're not jealous of Nick, right?
Oh no, God, no, God,
I
no.
no, but we're happy for his success. And the best part about Nick too is so of course everyone knows I was traveling. I did the Minnesota State tour last week. Nick will never get so big on YouTube that he says, "No, you're not allowed at my house anymore."
Yeah, he's always been Nick. Certain people don't ever have they just don't have that in them. That's just not who they are. Nick's never been that guy. And the people that he is surpassing, they are that guy or that gal, right? The Rachel Maddows of the world and all these. Dude, no one wants to listen to these people, man. It's
Not only
over
that,
for
but
them.
not only do people not want to listen to them, but they think everyone wants to listen to them, right? Like
Yeah.
they're so far detached from reality. Nick is always going to be Nick, and Nick's always going to be friendly to the people who know him, right?
Hmm.
Nick has invited many fans of his into his house, and he always will. I don't think there'll ever be a point where Nick is so big that he doesn't want to hang out with us anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I've only known the guy 25 years. So
Well,
the
you're a
thing
little different
is,
story, but I mean, even from my perspective, right? I
mhm,
don't think there'll ever be a day where Nick says, "Well, hey," when I say, "Hey, Nick, I'm in town. Can I stop in and say hi?" Say hi to you and Lady Rackets and the little racketeers,
yep.
those damn kids.
It's a great thing. It's a great thing and this is like a special shout out to everybody who's on Nick's panel. I saw Uncivil Law on there. I saw Kurt. I saw Joe on there. There's a lady on there. I saw a blonde lady. There's a couple other faces I didn't recognize, but
Oh,
like
smash or pass.
I don't know, she's married. I don't mention people like that. Um,
Oh,
the
right, I forgot.
the main thing with that I look at with Nick's panel is that it's a new wave. It's a new era. It's something that where for so long, and like in this platform, like I said, we just started, and for so long, all you guys have been subjected to is the mainstream narrative, right? There's a mainstream narrative that's out there. Everywhere you go, you only hear one kind of program. You never heard anything to the contrary. And now you're hearing all these things from the contrary. You're hearing Nick, you're hearing me, you're hearing the War Band, you're hearing Coach Greg Adams. Even Kevin Samuels. Like I said, people can have whatever issues with them, but you're got a guy over 1 million subscribers showing someone, at least, like I said, regardless of what you think of him, at least he's showing something different than what's on mainstream media. If you turn on the TV, it's always been man bad for the last, I don't know what, at least 40 years. So all of a sudden, someone has, I have an open forum. I'm showing these topics and I'm going to bring these women on and we're going to talk about X, Y, and Z. And people are now seeing for the first time, like, wait a minute, maybe the fiction that we've been fed is exactly that, fiction. Because a lot of the women on Kevin Samuels, like if you really listen to them, yes, they are educated. Yes, they have X, Y, and Z, and yet they are totally delusional on how to get a man, how to maintain a high value man, what sacrifices need to be made. It's like, no one told you any of this? And like they're like, no. They literally went through life basically just blind. And it's like, yeah, that's good. Coach Greg Adams. There are guys out there, like Chronic and stuff, they're showing, hey man, look, these are these TikTok videos. This is how you guys have been getting played for all these years. And people are just kind of doing this thing where it's like an awakening. It's this grand awakening. And I look at guys like Hammerhand. He had a series. I hope he brings it back. Shout out to Hammerhand,
Oh,
by the way.
we got to get him on the show sometime. I got to reach out
Oh
to him.
yeah, I love him.
Man,
He's a great
we are
guy.
so backlogged for guests, and of course, we're preparing for December 4th, the big day, right?
Oh
The
yeah, it's gonna
1
be
year
fun.
anniversary. But
Well, the
I
thing about
I got to get my
Hammerhand,
shit together here.
Hammerhand had a series, and the series was called the Coming Juggernaut, right? And he would talk about all the things that are coming within the culture. And it was a great series he had because as the incoming juggernaut comes, you're starting to see that now. The legal and political systems, right? They're under increasing scrutiny, right? And pressure. And someone goes, well, why is that? Two major things are happening. The reason why they're under such heavy scrutiny and pressure. Two things. We are more divided than we've ever been, ever, right? And then the second thing is that the economy is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So as these things happen, someone goes, "Well, why is that important?" Well, if I asked you guys when you went to the grocery store, how much did your last bill cost? Right? What was your bill total? You went into the store, got like 8 items, and your bill was $90. You're like, wait, I barely bought anything. Chicken is costing you more than it's ever cost you in your whole life.
Gas.
It's gas is gone back up. Although this is not the
It-
prices gas has been. I remember when it was over $4 in Minnesota. It was brutal.
It's not that far away. It was 340.
Yeah, it's three. Yeah, it's depending on where you are in the state, it could be as low as 3, but as high as about 350. It might be the worst.
No,
The
North
the reason
Dakota
why
was like three. I know because I just drove through all these states. Right, Montana was like 319. North Dakota
yeah
was 310. But no, around the city it was like 340,
uh, yeah the
344.
cities are always going to hit you harder.
Well, they got the
The
gas tax, right?
there shouldn't have been. There shouldn't have been.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
gonna get hit. Everyone like here's the thing, that cost is gonna get pawned off onto everybody, man. So
Yeah.
the reason
Well, I
why I
think it's
bring
by
this
county
up with
line, right?
this was that
Because gas in Hennepin County, I guarantee, is higher than gas in, say, Dakota County
yeah. Yeah, in general,
because of
yeah.
the county taxes, right?
County tax plus the fact that you just have okay, more people means more traffic. You have more traffic, more cars. You're gonna say, hey, I'm gonna
Well,
raise the price of gas so I can get more
yeah, you
money
actively
for more
seek to
travel.
disincentivize vehicle travel in a city
Yeah.
as big as Minneapolis.
Yeah, I mean, well, people aren't going to wait till they drive, way out of their way to fill up in another city. So they'll fill up where it's nearest to them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, is like I said, getting to the climate, right? This socio-political climate and legality. The thing is, though, is that it's more important than ever to stay going your own way because, as we all know, the comedian's about to come out of the woodwork, right? I've warned people about
Mhm.
this on Nick's show, and I continue to warn them. Like, when the times get tough, you know it's going to come. All of a sudden, expect to see a huge rise in femininity out of the women that you come across. The faces aren't going to look the same. We actually saw this in the early days of the lockdowns, right? When you went to about like I would say April, May, and June last year, you really saw it. People were acting a lot nicer because they didn't know. There was a lot of uncertainty. A lot of people were suddenly not going to work every day. And before you know it, they're like, oh, God, I don't know what I have to do. And this is going to be the time when, because of this femininity, there's going to be more guys who are going to be lured by some of these women for relationships. And as you guys know, I told you, no, ever. Don't do it. And the reason is that when you look at the financial drain, the emotional drain, the spiritual drain, you're going to have less money. You're gonna have less free time. You're gonna have less energy, but you're gonna have more stress, right? More bills. You're gonna be losing, and you're gonna be losing the things that you don't want, right? And then gaining more of the things you don't want. So it's like, wow, I want money. Why am I losing it? I don't want stress. Why am I gaining it? It's gonna be simple as that. And I told you guys to expect me to get more out of control, right? And it's also going to get more and more desperate. It's going to be they're going to start going after people who they shouldn't be, whether it be, oh, we're going after, like you said, we're going after someone from beyond the grave. We're going after somebody who, I don't know, is currently quadriplegic, whatever the case may be. And I want you guys to understand that the schools and the media is about to get more woke, and they're going to target you. And I had a couple of stories here that I looked at, and there it kind of goes to show you how, like I said, the legal pendulum is a certain way, right? Swung a certain way. And obviously we're constantly harping on these schools because it's going to show you the changing the rise of the tide, right? Things are changing. When we start recording these nostalgia week episodes, I'm hearing these changes, how a guy who was born closer to my day was saying, yeah, school was like this is how the household was. Also, you talk to a young buck, you're like, wait, what? So I'm looking at this story here. We got a guy, prosecutor, and for those of you who think that people who are on a certain
You
side
mean
of the
like
law are the good
Fluffer
guy,
Boy 2004? Did you
well,
see that?
this
That is that the prosecutor in Kyle's case, Binger, allegedly that was his old email from back in the day, Fluffer Boy 2004 at
but you know what though,
yahoo.com.
But good for him. Good for everybody
Good
who
for him.
endorses it.
Good for him for being a fluffer boy.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be a fluffer, sure. But you know what though? People want to keep.
Well, and it's a contrast, right? Because Kyle's TikTok was 4 doors more whores,
Yeah,
right? So, and then Binger is fluffer boy. Okay, Drex? Who would you rather trust? The guy with the 4 doors more whores handle, or the guy with the fluffer boy handle?
never trust somebody with a fluffer boy handle, man. Get real. Just like you shouldn't be trusting
Go on.
somebody who's like Dr. Dre's ex-wife. Don't trust somebody who looks like Nicole Young. And well, look at this story of a prosecutor, right? And this kind of goes to show you just how this thing is going down, man. This kind of goes into like the Kyle thing. This is from the AP on Yahoo News. It says prosecutor pleads guilty and resigns as jury deliberates. And this is out of Columbus, Georgia. And it says, as a jury was deliberating over his fate, a Georgia district attorney on Monday pleaded guilty to several charges stemming from improper acts while in office and agreed to resign. Mark Jones had already been suspended as this is a horrible sounding thing. Chattahoochee Judicial Court District Attorney after the state attorney general's office obtained the indictment on September 7th. It accused him of trying to influence a police officer's testimony, offering bribes to prosecutors in his office, and trying to influence and prevent the testimony of a crime victim. Jones took office in January, overseeing the Chattahoochee Judicial Circuit, which serves Muskogee, Harris, Chattahoochee, Marion, Talbot, and Taylor counties in West Georgia. And this is where the deliberations are. It says, after deliberating briefly Thursday and then all Friday, jurors had indicated Friday afternoon that they were unanimous on 3 of the 9 charges, and the judge instructed them to keep working on the others, according to local news outlets. After about an hour of deliberation Monday, jurors said they had reached a consensus of guilty on 5 charges, but Jones had decided to agree to a plea deal. Now, it's funny how he gets to a plea deal at this point, right? During the
Yeah.
actual, that
Normally, a
part,
plea
yeah.
deal is like, oh, we're going to
Well before.
incentivize you avoiding the trial.
Avoiding trial. Yeah, yeah, you avoid all that. And this is the beauty. See, it says, this is the quote by them. It says, by abusing his power and abdicating his responsibility as district attorney, Mark Jones did a disservice to those he was elected to protect and put our very justice system at risk, Carr said in the release. This outcome is a victory for integrity in prosecutions and the rule of law. But see, this also tarnishes all of the cases that he's already worked on. And this is something that you're going to start seeing more and more. Like I keep telling you guys, the system itself is getting more and more desperate. And you're going to start seeing more and more of these cases where, like you said, you know what your eyes are seeing, you know what your ears are hearing, and yet people are trying to tell you, no, that's not what you hear, that's not what you see. And I got to give a special shout out to my man Shaftesbury for sending me a couple of things, because this is really a sign of the times when it comes to the culture. And also from the AP News, you know, there's students suspended for only 2 genders comments. This guy sues the school, right? And this is in New Hampshire. Like you said, we go all over the place, right? State to state, you know, region to region. You start to see this narrative playing out, right? And as you look at the greater culture, you start to see this narrative play out in real time when, oh, more cancel culture, but only if you say these things, only if you support this person or if you don't support that person. And it says a New Hampshire student athlete is suing his school district after he was suspended from a football game for allegedly expressing his view that there are quote unquote only 2 genders. And this is the thing. Later in this article, it says, you know, the plaintiff is also aiming to prohibit enforcing Exeter High School's gender nonconforming students policy because of what he says is its infringement on his First Amendment rights. Now, at the end of the day, the reason why all of this is important is because it's only allowing certain things to prevail, a certain narrative to prevail. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about always is the narrative. Because Shaftesbury sent me an article that is actually in some ways worse because it's coming out of Florida. Because, you know, as you guys know, everyone talks about how Florida is so, you know, non-woke and, you know, they're whatever. This is out of Florida. Florida schools secretly colluded to alter students' gender identity. Parents of a 13-year-old girl or a 13-year-old daughter filed a lawsuit against her school for quote unquote violating their parental rights. And it says the parents of a middle school student in Leon County, Florida, have filed a lawsuit against the school district for privately meeting with their daughter to discuss her gender identity without informing them. The lawsuit, submitted on October 18th, contends that the school district's gender identity policies violate the plaintiff's parental rights under the Florida and U.S. Constitution. So it says the suit says the girl who was a student at Deer Lake Middle School at the time started expressing confusion about her gender identity in the spring of 2020, and parents permitted faculty to refer to their daughter using the nickname Jay. And then it goes on to say, according to court documents, by late spring 2020, AG told her parents that she was confused about her gender and believed she might be non-binary. Mrs. Littlejohn learned that earlier in the year, 3 of AG's friends had stated that they were transgender. She also observed that AG was receiving text messages from transgender friends. Now, the reason why I bring all this up is because A, this is in Florida, historically red state. B, and more importantly, do you guys notice that before all of this was taught in schools, before it was, I shouldn't even say taught, preached and enforced in schools, nobody was trans. All of a sudden, everyone's trans, right? And this is important because as Shaftesbury sends me this, right, I look at the long-term repercussions of, when it comes to when these people, start to snap out of this spell. As they start to snap out, they look around, they're like, this is when you start getting the where are all the real men kind of threads, right? Female dating strategies, Laura Ingraham, Deanna Lorraine, everybody else who keeps on crying, where are all the men? Where are the... Shut up. Okay, everybody was in on this. Everybody wanted these kinds of environments because if you didn't want it, you wouldn't even allow it. If Florida is supposed to be red, then how did they allow this? I thought the red didn't allow this, but they did. So, trying to make excuses. No, we're not accepting excuses. You allowed woke because you are woke, and you did nothing to stop it. And then on the flip side, I look at forgiveness and repair. I had this time to watch another gal's channel. Her channel is called Popcorn in Bed. And she was watching Rocky, and I was watching her reaction video. And it got me to thinking about the nature of Rocky. And it was actually a great reaction video, too. So shout out to her in the channel. But I'm watching the very nature of the movie Rocky, right? And forgiveness and then repair, right? How you repair relationships through that forgiveness, right? Because you got to forgive someone first, and then you go out and you step out and become proactive and repair that relationship. And I have on here, right? You're looking at Rocky and Mick. Of course, we meet Mick in the movie. He's very cantankerous. He's very adversarial towards Rocky. And of course, later on, we learn why. It's because of his disappointment in Rocky. And yet, Mick basically kind of passed him over, blah, blah, blah. But ultimately, what ends up changing is that, when Rocky gets the title shot, Mick tries to come, kind of sniveling, trying to get his one last shot at glory. Because the man is 76 years old in the movie. And of course, Rock is not wanting to have it. But after Rock goes ahead and, berates Mick and is basically kind of screaming in his little shoebox apartment, they keep saying it stinks. He runs outside knowing he has no chance of beating Apollo Creed and makes it up to Mick right then and there, shakes hands, and they get to work. Rocky and Paulie, right, throughout the movie, also a combative kind of relationship. But they make good by the end, right? He ends up getting the $3,000 for the robe, blah, blah, blah. Rocky and Apollo. Of course, their relationship gets further delved into in the sequels. Didn't like the fact that they killed him in part 4, though. But you're talking about guys they start off as bitter rivals, right? Bitter rivals.
Yep.
And yet it's through that nature of their competition that they form a very deep bond and friendship. And of course, that gets expounded upon in the Creed movies where Apollo's son wants to, step in his father's shoes, right? His footsteps, and is mentored by Rocky Balboa. And which leads me to something that I always mention, which is giving people a chance. And that would be Adrian and Rocky, right? So with a character like Adrian, one of the things I find funny about watching React channels is that, like, especially with women, they'll always scream about how, like, they love to see love. Like, oh my God, they love each other so much. Rocky's so sweet. I can't believe he did that. Oh my God. And yet, if you look at their own life, it's like, would you give a guy like Rocky a chance? Because, yeah, the guy may not be Prince Charming. He may not be perfect. He's not Christian Grey. But a lot of times, this kind of goes back to what we talk about. They don't give a chance. Adrian is very shy, very standoffish. She doesn't really give Rocky a chance. But when she finally does, it changes her life and it changes her confidence. Her outlook on life is better because she has a man, a protector, a provider, a guy that's like we now where everything is fast food. It's like you meet somebody, they have like 4 seconds to basically impress you. Like impress me or die off in a fire, horrible, horrible fire. And the problem with having that kind of a response and that kind of an attitude is that where does it get anybody, right? And it gets people basically nowhere, of course. And here we are. I'm looking at this, and as the movie goes on, right, with Mick saying "women weaken legs," even a guy like Gazzo, right? You have a loan shark who gives Rocky money to date Adrian and asks him, "Hey, do you have any money for training?" This is a guy. This is a literal, a criminal who is still helping a guy who's been forever down his luck. He gets one shot, and like people rally around that. And I think that's why a movie like Rocky resonated with so many people. He is the ultimate underdog. It's the underdog story is Rocky. And we're at this point now where it's like no one's allowed to be an underdog. No one's allowed to grow, to develop, whatever. It's like, oh, when he shows up to me, he should be, flying his own helicopter to have $20 million sitting in the bank. And that's just not realistic. I mean, the economy can't support that. And we're driving further away from each other because there's no forgiveness anymore. Both sides are digging their heels in, just like, nope, 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 nope. So you don't have that forgiveness. You have that, there's no repair. And without that repair, all you're going to end up with is what? You're going to get further into what they really want, which we all know what that is we're looking at this thing with Capitol Hill, right? And this reason why it's a big thing to focus is that what are we focusing on? Okay, somebody's focused on Kyle Rittenhouse. This guy over here is focused on woke TV, right? And the politics on Capitol Hill, right? Everything that you see is a distraction, right? 24/7 coverage. Kyle Rittenhouse. Let's debate. We got talking heads. That's cool. But all of this is a distraction. And someone says, well, Drex, was it a distraction from? It's a distraction from the impending financial collapse. And it's going to be the money movement. I don't know if for those of you who know this, but during the lockdowns last year, that was the largest wealth transfer in the history ever. History of the entire country. The largest wealth transfer was doing. Oh, Tim, I thought nobody had anything, right? No one had money. No one had food. No one had anything. Okay, so if that's all true, how did we have the largest wealth transfer in the history of our country last year?
Oh, remember that coin shortage bullshit?
Yeah, coin shortage. Yeah, dude, Jeff Bezos gets divorced during the lockdown. The same Jeff Bezos who lost $36 billion in divorce is now richer than he was before the divorce.
Yep.
It's like, look, congratulations for making money, but it's like,
Yeah,
when you see money moving like that, that's a problem. When you see money moving and you're going, man, I'm looking at a lot of people around me getting a lot poorer, but then you look around and you kind of go, yeah, some people are getting richer, but there's money moving. It ain't moving in the right spot. More and more people are going to be homeless. Right? Cost of living keeps going up.
The greatest artificial wealth transfer in history was the creation of the family court. Because one side of the argument says, well, Jeff Bezos built a company, right? Do you think he got that money illegitimately?
Yeah.
I can tell you who got the money illegitimately, and it's anyone who got it from the family court.
Yeah, the family court's legalized extortion is all it is. And it operates beyond the Constitution because it is unconstitutional and it doesn't acknowledge any part of the Constitution.
And if you're sitting there thinking, oh, hey, but Drex, she gave up her career to be with me.
You might be a simp. Yeah, those guys. Look, man, good luck to them, right? But there was a Sir Yeetus post that I saw. And
God, I got to get him on too. Jeez.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to Sir Yeetus. I saw this post and I loved it. And the post reads as follows. It says, the two richest men on earth couldn't keep their wives happy. What hope do we have? And it shows a picture of Bill Gates, divorce, Jeff Bezos, divorce. And there are guys out here who are still out on the minefield, hoping that they can, snag something and go back to, I don't know, a happy little house on the prairie life or something. And one of the things that bothers me about this post is that By looking at Jeff Bezos, I keep thinking, and I was just talking to NCAA Cat about this. I said that video with his girl, right, his little new chick, Lauren Sanchez, right? I want you guys to look at that behavior, right? Look at that behavior of one Lauren Sanchez, Jeff Bezos' new girl, and she was thirsting for Leonardo DiCaprio, right? While Bezos was literally standing right there. Like Bezos, you're talking about the richest man in the world, literally getting cucked. And I keep going back to it because it's like there are certain lessons that need to be taught to the generations behind us. And one of the things is money cannot and will not uh buy you the things that you really want from a woman. And what you really want, of course, is the love, the respect, the loyalty. It's like money cannot do that, right? When people say the best things in life are free, loyalty is free, right? Companionship is free. All these things. There's so many things in life that are free, yet they have limitless potential and limitless value because it's like, man, if I could just get this thing. You look at what Bezos did. Never invest your money and expect loyalty in something that's going to bleed once a month when all you did is just said, look how much money I have. You led with your wallet, you're going to leave her. You're going to lose her with your wallet. That's why there's that old saying, right?
Yeah.
How you got her is how you're going to lose her. So Bezos leaned into Lauren Sanchez, someone who's way too old. He should be with someone significantly younger who would appreciate his resources. And Bezos did all this. And I'm looking at him like, but bro, even with all this money, you didn't learn the first lesson of the red pill. One of the first. Attraction versus arousal. Yes, every single woman on this earth is attracted to Jeff Bezos, right? They are attracted to his resources and his ability to provide and, by extension, protect. Notice I said attracted. Lauren Sanchez is attracted to Jeff Bezos. You know what she's not? She is not aroused by Jeff Bezos. See, when you pay to play, this is a shout out to Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates. When you guys look like the way you do and you have to pay to play, you have to simp to get anything from a woman. Like no one, like, without money, we all know Bill Gates would get none, zero. Jeff Bezos, none, zero.
Yeah.
There's no line of women lined up to hop in the rocket with Bezos if he doesn't have the money for the rocket, right? And that's no knock on him. It is what it is. When you see that video of how Lawrence Sanchez is all over Leo, it speaks volumes. And at the end of the day, I remember that video of attraction versus arousal that Donovan Sharp had, and this is maybe like 2 years. It was a good while ago. It reminded me of my own experience. Being a young bull in the lifestyle, man, where I would sit around and I would be like this. So let me get this straight. There's all these chicks that want to get smashed, right? And then you look at like, wait, so you have a boyfriend, you have a husband, like really? Like this guy's okay with this? See, you learn something in lifestyle, and you learn that these women use these men because they are attracted to them. They go like this. Yes, he has a good career, he has good this, he has good that. They don't get wet for them ever.
If I was a woman, I'd be very attracted to someone who could literally afford to buy me a bodyguard.
Yeah.
Who I would then proceed to sleep with.
Yeah, right? Of course. Of course.
By the way, Koopa's got a good point. You know what woman will never hit on another man while you're there? Contact Dollhouse Phil for more information.
Yeah, shout out to our man Dollhouse Phil. Well, that's part of the future, man, is I look at just how the dynamics of relationships played out while being in the lifestyle and seeing it with my own eyes of being like, wow, these women really are just using these guys. And that's why, they said the beta bucks deluxe. And then, when I play Cuck Simulator, it hits so close to home because, I'm looking, I'm like, dude, I've seen this before. I've witnessed this with my own eyes. I've heard these guys say this.
Wife is like, you always do this. You get attached to the bulls.
Yeah. Yeah, look, you got guys out here so weird, man. They'll actually try to want to hang out with you, and so hey, you should come on our boat sometime.
Best friend.
Yeah, and you're just kind of looking at like, bro, look, I'm here to smash and dash. But the thing that I look at all of this, right, and I ask the ladies out there, what do the ladies have to say, right? If you're a woman and you've seen all this, what do you have to say?
Oh yeah, we'll have to do that wife panel soon.
Oh yeah, yeah.
After the 1 year. I think a good time to do the wife panel is close to Christmas.
Yeah, when people are
I'll
in their
reach out
full cuffing
to
season mood. The all of this stuff it points to a larger issue, and it points to an issue within the culture itself. And when someone says, "Well, direct, what does the future have in store?" It has quite a bit because like I said, we've seen some of the things that they're pushing. We already know the pedo agenda, and I have to give a special shout out. That was Koopa who showed me the text right before the show, literally right before. I looked in there and he had a picture of Simon Cowell. And apparently, one Simon Cowell got caught up in some things, right? And as I look, and I want to make sure that you guys see this because, or at least hear it, I should say, because this is very disturbing, man. Is that I'm sitting there listening, and I'm going to find it right here, right before the show. Koopa sent that with, unfortunately, Simon Cowell does look just like Dollhouse Phil, but what can you do? Right here. It says Simon Cowell suddenly quits TV. Simon Cowell is stepping back from TV to spend more time with his family. Now, Tim, everybody knows what that really means, like scandal, right? When someone says, "I'm quitting my multi-million-dollar job to spend more time with my family," no, something happened. There's some kind of scandal like lurking on the horizon. And here's what it says for those of you who can't see, obviously. It says leaked photo of hashtag Simon Cowell with a all caps very underage girl in Thailand. Still think it was a quote unquote mistake that he put up 50,000 euros bail for the prolific child abuser and radio DJ Jonathan King. Yeah, right. Then at the bottom, there's a picture of this creep, Jonathan King, and it says King ran child sex ring for stars. And it says Jonathan King, bailed by Simon Cowell for 50 grand, ran VIP sex ring. See, once
Kind
again,
of sounds like the English version of Jeffrey Epstein.
Jeffrey Epstein. It sounds eerily similar, right? The people who don't understand this, man, I let people know, man. There is, we did that episode on the agenda. How long before people finally wake up and say, okay, yeah, this is true, this is real, this is what people are doing? Because I mean, if you don't,
I don't think people want to wake up.
well, of course not. That requires too much thought. And there's actually
thought.
a well, I was sent something. This was by Hoshioni. And I remember I saw that headline. It said DOJ whistleblower document suggests this Attorney General Merrick Garland lied about the targeting of parents as domestic terrorists. Tim, this is the future.
Oh, color me shocked on that one.
Yeah, this is the future. For those of you who don't know, the all out war on the nuclear family, on men, on especially white men right now, at least, masculinity, all of this is the final end game before they install full on communism and socialism. So that's that. But to let guys off with a nice story, right? I mean, because Tim, you always got to have something lighthearted, right?
Well, that's why we go to the email bag because they always cheer me up.
Well, this isn't a cheer up moment. This is something that's disturbing. Someone
is it
sent
Koopa
me.
disturbing?
Oh God, I wish we were that lucky. I was sent an article, and every now and then someone sends me an article that makes me really just kind of go, "Wait a minute, this just took it to the next level." So let me make sure I click my thing here properly. And this is from our man Agrilith. We have a story here from Newsbreak that's going to disturb all of you. And it goes very simply as follows. 480-pound woman charged with involuntary manslaughter after husband died while performing oral sex. And this story is wild. It says Franklin County District Court Judge Henry Miller sentenced Annabelle Gaston to 10 years and 6 months after he judged her sexual practices extremely dangerous behavior and a quote unquote completely reckless conduct for a woman of her size. To prove this, the prosecutor showed documents attesting that paramedics took at least 12 minutes to release the head of Erwin Gaston from the inside of Annabelle Gaston's genitals. The time of death is estimated to be 17 minutes before the 911 call and 59 minutes after Erwin Gaston's head was removed from the inside of the defendant's genitals, he said in court, delivering the sentence. Erwin Gaston was also hospitalized last year, only weeks after the couple's honeymoon, after, quote unquote, large amounts of fecal matter had entered his lungs during oral anal intercourse, according to a medical report presented in court. When you read stories like this, man, my thing is this. Can you guys please start having some standards? Like, literally, please.
Yeah, don't be licking the. There we go.
Well, I'm looking at some of these quotes. It says, "We were having sex, and he started eating my hoo ha. I was just sitting on his face for like 25 minutes when his legs turned when his legs turned a greenish blue color." She told the 911 operator at the time in horror. And it said, "This is great. According to Gaston's lawyer, Erwin Gaston, quote unquote, liked to insert his head inside my client's vagina, and quote unquote, my client warned him on multiple occasions that it was a dangerous practice," he told the judge. Why is this a thing, right?
Yeah, but it's
Algorithm
the
had to
internet.
do that
There's,
to us.
before the internet, this would just happen and no one would ever know about it, right? It'd be one of those. It'd be one of those stories they tell you at the local bar. Oh, hey, did you hear? There was a story this one time. This guy got his head stuck in her hoo ha.
Yeah, that is
um,
like a very disturbing thought that someone could wind up there. But like, I just
the
want
internet
to.
was a mistake, Drexel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for all the good things, there's a lot of terrible things, but like I just wanted to have that kind of like I said, just something fun to kind of end it off with, and just get to a point where we kind of look at just like the current state of things, kind of chill out, and just be like, you know what, this is where we're at. Kid Cudi in a white dress, looking crazy. This is where we're at. Embrace it.
All right. It's been a while since I've been in an email bag, so let's take a quick look at a few of these. Um, this one with the subject line, "Beautiful black queens are real, damn it."
Uh-oh.
About a week or so ago, and this was sent to me at the start of the month, so back in October. Um, Drex was on Nick's stream, and a viewer asked or suggest for Drex to check out a YouTube channel called It's Complicated channel. There's some real interesting stuff, like some proud, beautiful black queens. Excuse me, I mean German shepherds. Answer questions and sharing their thoughts and opinions on dating men. Anyway, it's a really great YouTube channel. I would love to hear you two thoughts on the women here.
Mm. I'll have to get back
Also,
to him.
give your boy Ruby King a shout out.
That was a shout to Ruby King. I'm gonna look up.
It's Complicated channel.
It's complicated. It's complicated channel. Oh Jesus. Oh, look, you won't believe this. I click it. This is no lie. This was uploaded 5 days ago. Do you know what the very first video that popped up was? It says
You have to be at least
VIP
6 feet.
VIP word that rhymes with uh dussy. Rules of modern dating and understanding women, quote unquote, it's complicated. Wow.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
There's your reaction to the channel. Wow.
Cheating and manipulation. Wow. Wow. Hey man, it is what it is. Wow.
Ugh. Oh man, I'm getting pretty tired. All right, let's get through a couple more emails and we'll wrap this up. We got an email from Vegas here. He had something happen to him when he sent this in, and the story's just kind of stuck in his mind. He treated himself to some donuts at Pink Box,
Hmm.
a gourmet donut shop. He says they're fucking great. I met a man there who had fallen on hard times and really wanted donut and coffee. While he waited for a friend to pick him up, but he didn't have enough money. So when my turn in the line came, I said, "My friend and I are ordering separate, but I'll pay for both." And this guy's order was $5. Completely fine by me. He even asked if we want anything else before checked out and declined. After he got his food and he went outside, the cashier said, "You're lucky he didn't go crazy." And our emailer replied with, "Have you ever fallen on hard times?" She was dead silent for the rest of the transaction.
Hmm.
Am I the only one who doesn't see an issue with showing a bit of kindness to someone? For the record, I never give anyone money, but if I can get you a treat to make you feel better, I'll do it
Hmm.
because I've been there and I know how much a small gesture like that can improve a bad day.
Yep.
But
Yeah, I've
Drex,
done that before.
where do women go if they need to pay the rent
Yeah, you just go to the government or a simp.
or OnlyFans?
Or yeah, well,
Right?
simps. I mean, they
Nope.
have avenues.
His first mistake was asking a woman if she's ever fallen on hard times.
Yeah, women can't fall in hard times until they go
So
way well past the wall, like well past.
yeah, but even then, there's always a marketplace,
Cougar
even if
porn.
you're post wall.
Yeah, cougar porn. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Women can't get in that position where they can say, well, I'm on hard times. It's like, no,
Yeah,
it can't happen.
open an OnlyFans, you'll be out of those hard times pretty quick, right? Anyways,
Wow. But hey, good
I've
for
I've
him,
got
though.
that's a rule that I live by as well. I'll never give anyone money,
Yeah,
but
but
I'll
someone
ask
wants
you what you want me
food.
to buy.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, if you want food, yeah, sure. If I
Even if you
happen
want a pair
to.
of shoes, oh hot
Yeah.
damn, you can get a pair of shoes for $20 in this city if you know where to look.
Hmm.
You ever I don't know, you go out camping or something. You ever get your shoes wet? And you got to walk around the rest of the day in your wet shoes and you're like,
Oh, it's
"God,
miserable, man.
I'd give anything for a dry pair of shoes right now."
Yeah, pure misery.
Yeah. You imagine how much change you can make in someone's life just giving them a, you know, cheap pair of shoes, but they're dry.
Yep. Dry shoes and nice socks, maybe some liners. Yep.
Um Oh yeah, someone wrote in asking if his girlfriend can join Miss Leximus on for a show.
Really?
We have a very traditional relationship, and yes, I am that high income earning man and can talk to why I was looking for a traditional woman. My girlfriend can speak to what her day to day is like. Partner of a single income household, lay of the land. Um, yeah, seems
Well,
like
actually, you know what though? I might just have both of them on like we did with Lex.
yeah,
You know, like yeah,
bring them both on.
traditional couple thing because like that's already three women, Lady Rackets, Anna, and
Miss
um,
Leximus.
Miss
Yeah,
Leximus. So it's like yeah, so that way yeah, if he wants to come on with her, I think that'd be good. Because I mean, here's the thing, I think it's always good for people out there who are still dating, like even though I tell you guys not to just go like this. For the people that it does work for, right? There's still like I said, not all the women have turned
well,
into turbo thoughts. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Come on, tell
So
us about it.
yeah, yeah, like because like okay, somewhere out there, there's a girl like Anna who's kind of stuck on the fence, right? Like, well, I want to, dip my toe in the water and make it work, but man, everybody in society keeps telling me to, open an OnlyFans and be a thought. So it's like when they get that positive reinforcement of, hey, don't do that route, go this route, look for these qualities. I think it's good because these women are lost, man. And like I said, a lot of it is not their fault. Like, imagine
They've
growing up
been
as a
led
girl.
astray.
Yeah, yeah, they've been, yeah. But here's the thing: so have the dudes, right? Like, dudes weren't meant to be cuckolds. You see what I'm saying? So clearly, the guys have been led astray. So if the guys have been led astray, they're just on the opposite. They're on the server end, right? They're serving. They're vagina worshiping. They're simps. But on the opposite end is the recipient of all of this, and that's how these women have goddess complexes. So it's like, ugh, yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice to see that there are people out there who can say, "Yo, do it this way. It's better for everybody."
Well, your chances of finding a unicorn is 1 in 1,000,000, right?
Hmm.
Well, there are 340 million people in the U.S.
Yep.
340 unicorns out there. or
Yep.
340 very happily married men,
Hmm.
right? Nick Ricade is one of them.
Yeah. Certain people like if you have a quality woman, she's gonna get wifed up. And that's actually one of the ways that you know if
And
you're a
you
quality
you
woman.
might just be lucky enough to be the guy that that has wifed her up.
Yeah, I mean, if this is for the women out there who, still claim that they're such high value, high quality, it's like if you were though, like you would be wifed up. There's no way that you're, 40 years old and never married or whatever, and you're still claiming that you're the best thing since sliced bread. It's like if you were, someone would have wifed you up at like, somewhere before 22, maybe.
Yeah. All right. Final email here is just oh yeah, this is one of the guys from Patreon asked me how to get in contact with you. I said send an email, so he did. He says he wants to um he says he's got a hell of a long email to write out for you. Um so I'll send that to you when he gets it in here, but
Oh yeah. Speaking of which,
uh
you know what? I still need to reply to the. We had a
oh, I got
couple
a German
people who.
shepherd outside.
Oh Jesus. There's a couple people who sent you a message that you had sent me. I thought I had replied back. They were looking for some advice and some help. I will send that to you. Hopefully, I can get that done tomorrow.
I sent
I
you
think
their
they were in
email
Canada.
addresses. You can just send them an email.
Oh yeah, yeah, true. Do that. Yeah,
If
I'll
you
probably
don't
have to
want
do
to
that.
dox your personal email, you can use the show one I made for you that you never use.
I know, right? Well, I use it on the Surface. Yeah, bro. Yeah, so I use it on the
Well, it's
Surface
it
because it
is
was.
on that computer. You
Is
just got
it?
to open up the little mail. You got a little envelope icon down on the bottom of your. Well, don't open it up on stream though.
Well,
Um,
yeah, but
it'd be funny
email
to see how
on.
many unread emails you have in there.
Yeah, right. I need to check that. Shit.
Yeah, the mail app on your
Oh yeah,
computer
yeah. I
needs to
see it
be
now. Yeah.
pre-configured.
Yeah, yeah. I was so used to using it on the other on the Surface. I was able to just click there it is, boom.
Yeah, I mean, same thing here. Click there, it is. Boom. So you can use that one if you want to reply.
Yeah, I'll do
Um,
that.
that way you don't have to give out your personal address. Um, that's it for the email bag. Apparently, oh god, let me see if I can find that email. Um, apparently we are the 53rd ranked podcast in Austria under the self-improvement category.
Nice. Shout out to all my Austrian brothers.
Yeah. I thought that was awesome. I got that metric in.
Hmm.
Um, man, I haven't done metrics in a while. We'll do it for the 1 year anniversary. We'll go through all the downloads and the views and the. Uh, I think we're getting close to 100,000 downloads now.
Nice.
So, uh, we appreciate every single one of them. You know.
Oh, that day is fast approaching. I just talked to our main man from Ghetto Gaggers, and yeah, he's got the equipment ready, so he'll be
Well, he
ready
better not
for.
bail on us. I will put the hockey mask on myself if he bails on us.
Yeah, he's ready. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to finally get a chance to put him on the show. I'll actually probably give him a call this weekend, briefly. I'm trying to get out this weekend, but I'll definitely give our
We'll need
man a
to get
call.
Mama Vic in for Nostalgia Week.
Yep,
I'm gonna edit those. I've got to edit this episode, get it out on Friday, and then I'll spend this weekend editing Nostalgia Week 1 and 2. We'll
yep.
push those out. I did just get the Chameleon Crusade video up. Man, I got a lot of stuff we're working on. Oh God, we got a bonus episode this month too. Um, who should I hit up for that? Who should we bring in
Might
for
do
a
a show
bonus
with
episode?
Joe. I'll ask Joe if
Oh
he wants
yeah,
to come on.
yeah. Ask Joe if he wants
That'd
to come
be
in
a
for a
that'd be a
bonus
great
episode.
bonus episode. Yeah, because I know he's busy with the Rittenhouse trial, but I'll try to get Joe on, and then that way I'll do a show. He'll do a show for us because I know he
Yeah.
wants to get me back onto his, so I'll hop on to his and do a show.
Yeah, it sounds like you guys had a good time. We
Oh yeah, it was
can
great.
do this. Yeah, we can do the recording for bonus episode. Um, Monday, Sunday,
Yeah, I'll
Tuesday.
text I'll
That
text
works.
Joe.
That should
Yeah,
be after the Rittenhouse trial wraps up.
yeah, because it should be done by then. I'm sure he'll do like a post reaction stuff, but I'll text him just to make sure because I mean it's something you can always just hop in, knock it out, and then bam.
Missing bonus episode with Undead Chronic. Yeah, he never did show up for the last one.
Yeah, we'll get him.
Well, and Sir Yeetus and oh god, there's so many people waiting to get back onto the show. I'm gonna have Tug and RGE call in during the anniversary stream.
Absolutely.
Still gotta get Flash in too,
Yeah, I'm gonna text him.
and Ty.
Of course, of course, Ty.
You gotta. I don't know if Ty wants to come on the show. Might be risky for him.
I'll be nice.
Oh, you'll be nice, huh? Oh, I mean, I'm not basing that assumption on anything in particular. It just so happens that there are people who are concerned about their public image when it comes to dealing with red pill content creators like us, right? Nick doesn't give a shit. Doesn't matter to him, right? Oh, and he got Susaned hard the other day. Did you see that?
Nick did?
Yeah, they PBS may have done like a copyright strike against his channel,
yeah, of course.
which just killed all his viewership.
Which doesn't really make sense since it's a damn trial. Like
Yeah,
it's
no.
public.
Don't. If you think about it too much, your brain will explode.
Yeah.
Yes, Leximus, we are still doing Nostalgia Week. Let's get Mama Vic in for the next recording, and then we'll get anyone else who happens to be available. That way
Yeah,
we'll give you
I
guys
know.
the-
Yeah, like I said,
we'll give you
I
guys
know
a
that we
time and
missed.
date.
Yeah, I know I missed some of you guys. So yeah, I want to make sure I get you guys before all this holiday shenanigans.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's coming up for the Americans too, so
Yeah.
spend some time with your family. We don't need to do anything. We don't need to do anything special for Thanksgiving. We did the Canadian Thanksgiving, right?
Yep.
And then of course the anniversary stream is the big one, so that'll count for 2 live streams. Hey, Nick owes us a 48-hour stream now.
Yeah, Nick. Look, he'd be
Yeah,
insane to go do all that.
Koopa said RPM on Nostalgia Week was hilarious.
Oh yeah, man. It's Arkansas living, man. I'm telling you, when you start to see how big of a gap there was between the generations, man, you can see the decay. It's sad. It really is. It's really sad to see.
Anytime RPM is on, it's funny. I love his laugh.
Oh, yeah, best laugh in the
Best laugh.
business.
Best laugh in the business. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week, episode 51. 1 year in podcasting is coming up in 2 weeks. 2 weeks?
Yeah. I think it might be 3.
It's
I think
2
it's 3
weeks
weeks.
on Saturday.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, I am not ready.
Yeah, we'll
I'm
definitely get him
not
on.
ready.
Well, I mean, I'll try to get to, I'll do my best to get to Nick's place the weekend before that, and that way I'll let everybody know where I'll be. Yeah, go ahead and hop over
Nick's
and
gonna call in.
of course.
Like I said, I'll be lining up a freaking. I don't know how long this stream's gonna go. At some point, I'll probably pass out because I'm in a completely different time zone. I'll still on track to be with Phil. There's nothing that's come up yet that says I can't. So I know there was I think a taxi exploded outside of a hospital in the
What?
UK.
Damn.
Yeah, there was some kind of terrorist attack in the UK.
Of course there was.
Blew
There
up this
always
bomb
is.
in front of a hospital.
That
They
shit.
taxi bombed a hospital, Drex.
Dude, that's as UK can get, man. Totally
But
cucked.
anyways, yeah, I'm gonna try and oh god, Duke from Ghetto Gaggers is literally gonna break the internet for us.
I know, right?
But looking forward to it. Hey, if you want to see Drex playing Cuckold Simulator, check out our sister channel, Migtown Arcade. You can find that both on YouTube and Twitch. Obviously, Twitch, you catch it live, or you can watch the re-upload on YouTube later. You can also, if you want to support the show, if you're new, you stumbled onto us while looking for Nick Rekieta. It happens. Maybe you had too much to drink. And you want to support the show, patreon.com/MigtownPodcast or subscribestar.com/Migtown-podcast. All these links are also on our website, migtown.show/about. You know where to find us. Yeah, get us. Till next week, everyone. Stay frosty.
Stay toxic. Peace.